A program that was sold to us and sold to a lot of rich people in Seattle as the end-all, be-all for homelessness has officially folded. Let's get to it in our segment, Unbelievable. By now, there's pretty universal agreement that the King County Regional Homelessness Authority has been a failure. I mean, from Democrats, from Republicans, from all sorts of folks who have been paying attention to what's happening in the city of Seattle, the King County Regional Homelessness Authority has just not worked. And it has been this incredible boondoggle and a waste of money and hundreds of millions of dollars. And their very first CEO, Mark Dones, resigned. He claimed he was burnt out, but it came after all these headlines about how he couldn't even help the agency function well enough to do basic things like pay their contractors who were doing the bulk of the actual difficult work. So, there have been Seattle Times, I think, op-eds where there's like, what has the Homelessness Authority accomplished? What is it even doing? So again, this is not a partisan talking point. This is a pretty universally agreed upon thing that the Regional Homelessness Authority needs a complete reevaluation. And this story is just further proof of that. So do you guys remember something called Partnership for Zero? Partnership for Zero. So when Partnership for Zero was announced as something that was going to be handled by King County Regional Homelessness Authority, people were thrilled. They were like, this is it. This is going to fix everything. And so much so, it was called Partnership for Zero because they brought in a lot of private funding. It was a public-private partnership. We're going to come in, all these resources, all these rich companies, and we're going to fix things. I just pulled a few of the little clips of what was said about it at the time that it launched. It was called an extraordinary collaboration to dramatically reduce unsheltered homelessness in targeted areas of King County. The Schultz Family Foundation, which invested in it, said new Partnership for Zero collaboration launches to dramatically reduce unsheltered homelessness in downtown Seattle with support from cross-sector funders. Now, keep in mind, this launched in February of 2022. This is Capitol Hill Seattle blog. Big givers launched $10 million Partnership for Zero to, quote, dramatically reduce unsheltered homelessness in downtown Seattle. So that was what, a year and a half ago? And at the time, King 5, wow, they had a headline that made people just, woo! I can't believe it. This could be the solution. King 5's headline, February 2020, new partnership could shelter all currently homeless individuals in downtown Seattle in as fast as 12 months. Wow. Yeah. And of course, with headlines like that, why wouldn't all these rich woke corporations just dump money into it? Like, hey, if this is going to shelter all the people who are homeless in downtown Seattle within 12 months, then yeah, sign us up. What's good for Seattle is good for us. It's good for the economy. So corporations just jumped at the opportunity to be part of Partnership for Zero. Alaska Airlines, Amazon, Ballmer Group, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Boeing, Costco, Expedia, JP Morgan Chase, Microsoft, Nordstrom's, Puget Sound Energy, REI, Russell Investments, Schultz Family Foundation, Starbucks, T-Mobile, Weyerhaeuser, Zillow, you name it. They were like, we want to be part of this. Take our money, King County Regional Homelessness Authority. Take our money for this Partnership for Zero. Well, let's check in on the Partnership for Zero a year and a half later, right? King 5 told us in a headline that the program could make all unhoused people have shelter in a year. It's been more than a year. So, Nicole, can you check in on the website for Partnership Zero? How are things going? Oh, not well. They posted an update on the King County Regional Homelessness Authority site saying that they are going to have to fold their Partnership for Zero program and lay off members of the Partnership for Zero team. They wrote in this update, since the departure of the King County Regional Homelessness Authority's first CEO, the agency has been conducting a full assessment of operations. This work includes a review of our governance structure and a close look at our operations and programs, including Partnership for Zero. Initial funding for the pilot program has now expired. In addition, King County Regional Homelessness Authority and partners recognize that the need for unsheltered services in downtown Seattle and the Chinatown ID is greater than the capacity of the Partnership for Zero pilot. We also recognize that there are challenges in having an administrative agency deliver direct service. King County Regional Homelessness Authority is winding down the Partnership for Zero pilot program. Unfortunately, this means we must also lay off members of the Partnership for Zero team. So after just a year and a half, a program that was billed to all of us as something that could get every unsheltered person off the streets of downtown Seattle in just a year is no more. And of course, that means that all the money that went into it was for nothing. And they're going to pitch it as, oh, but we had these little victories along the way. No, you sold it to us as something that would be transformational. That's how you sold it to these companies that bought in. Shame on them for believing that giving their money to the government would result in anything except that money going to waste, because that's all the government does. That's the homeless industrial complex. We've had plenty of examples of that. The best use of private funds is in the hands of the private sector. I don't know why the people who are already overtaxed would ever willingly give more money to the government to squander on an issue that they have perpetually squandered it on. And our friend Ari Hoffman looked at the amount of money that King County Regional Homelessness Authority had dedicated to at least salaries. So administration and direct services budget. So of the Regional Homelessness Authority's budget, they had dedicated 25.4% of money for salaries to Partnership for Zero, to the tune of $4,743,461. Absolutely down the drain, because it didn't even do a fraction of what it promised it would do. And that's not to mention the millions of dollars that private entities, bewildering, gave to the government to try to fix a problem the government has proven incapable of fixing. Absolutely unbelievable.